Life in the desert isn't easy, and unfortunately for the creatures in southern Arizona, the land is full of it. But there are some species who choose to defy the odds and make a living in this harsh environment, growing tall and standing as a beacon for the rest of the natural world to ponder over. You thought I was talking about humans? No, these creatures are far more adapted to desert life than humans. These are the mighty saguaro cacti. Only growing in the Sonoran Desert in which the national park is located, the saguaro cactus is a truly unique plant. It is a very slow-growing cactus, with the plant only gaining about 1 to 1.5 inches in the first 8 years of its life. When they reach their potential height, they are able to reproduce, doing so usually in late spring through the creation of white flowers blooming on the tips of their iconic arms. Like many plants in America's national parks, the saguaro has multiple uses for several different groups of animals. Woodpeckers and flickers make holes in the saguaros to live in, and when they leave, other birds such as small owls, finches, and sparrows call the cacti home. The cacti provides a source of food for bats who pollinate the cacti during their reproductive phase, as well as larger animals like jackrabbits, mule deer, and bighorn sheep, who will dig into the flesh of a young saguaro for water. And of course, humans have also made use of the saguaro cactus, and this is where the area's history comes into play. The main people who inhabited the area that would have become the city of Tucson and Saguaro National Park were the Hohokam, who lived there from about 300 to 1500 CE. The Hohokam people used the cacti as framework for their houses, and had developed a society near the base of Sentinel Peak when the first Spaniards arrived in present-day southern Arizona in the late 17th century. Around the time the United States was declaring their independence in the east, the city of Tucson was founded by Spanish explorers, and soon the area began to grow with the American settlers from the east and Spanish settlers from Mexico to the south. The area would become a part of the United States in 1854 after the land was purchased from Mexico, and after a series of battles against the Native American tribes by the US in the late 1800s, the state of Arizona was formed in 1912, and the area began to industrialize. Many ranchers lived in the area at the beginning of the 20th century, and many dams were put up by the locals, as well as the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Great Depression, to help provide sustainable water sources in the area. The area got national recognition in the final days of Herbert Hoover's presidency in 1933, when Saguaro National Monument was established, a huge victory for botanists and other park advocates in the Tucson area who wanted to protect the sacred cacti. After an addition to the west of Tucson in 1961, the site was finally upgraded to the status it is known as today, National Park, in 1994. Now, the most obvious reason why visitors flock to Saguaro National Park is of course to see the iconic cacti spread throughout the landscape. And luckily, there are multiple ways for parkgoers to get a glimpse of one of the famous cacti. Starting with the older of the two districts in the park, the East or Rincon Mountain District allows visitors to travel along the Cactus Forest Loop Drive, which starts at the Visitor Center and navigates through tens if not hundreds of the famous saguaros. Along the road are several short and longer trails that provide an up-close experience with the terrain at Saguaro, with short jaunts like the Desert Ecology and Freeman Homestead Trail giving interpretive markings along the path, while other hikes travel deep into the backcountry offering primitive views that only the hardy seek out. The Cactus Forest Loop Drive was actually another CCC project, along with the many dams built by the hardworking men, and was restored in the early 2000s for visitors to traverse the scenic road once more. Heading over to the west or Tucson Mountain District of the park finds travelers at the Red Hills Visitor Center and the Bajada Scenic Loop, which, like its sister road on the east side, takes visitors through many scenic vistas and views of saguaro cacti and other desert life. Places to go in the West District are the Desert Discovery Trail and the petroglyphs at Signal Hill, signs of the past to be pondered in the present. Saguaro National Park is a great example of how the National Park Service is able to preserve and protect a special natural wonder, and how that wonder can be shown to the world to help educate it about the beauty of nature, and how we as humans are able to interact with and learn from our environment around us. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, this has been RAC Adventures covering Saguaro National Park briefly.